This video is a quick demonstration of how you can use LaTex to insert images and equations into anything really. It doesn't have to be the Flippity card matching, but you can actually do it with Schoology, let's say, for example, or even with Google Forms. Okay, so for this example, what I have already on my desktop is my matching game template. So in column A is where I am going to insert the terms, and then in column B it has alternate terms, but this is where I'm going to insert the images. Okay, so the example that I'm going to use is this this right here. So what I'm going to do is, let's say for example the students have this already, given the function right here, evaluate each of the following. So I'm going to use this as a card, and then this as a card. Actually, for this demonstration, I'm just going to use the first one as a card. Okay, this as a card, and then so the solution for A is 1/16. Okay, so I'm gonna have this on column A, and then this on column B of my template. Okay, so the tool that I am going to use, it's called Quick LaTex. And I have this, I have the website to Quick LaTex in our Schoology course, so you can click on it during the independent time. Okay, so don't let this intimidate you if you have not ever used LaTex. Another link that I also have is to Overleaf. So Overleaf gives a good explanation of how you can use LaTex to create these types of images. Okay, so like for example, if I wanted this right here, the Pythagorean theorem, and I wrote, I'm just going to copy and paste it just for time's sake, but you have the little caret that points up in, so that's what makes it a superscript. The equal signs, the plus signs, those are normal. But anyways, this is how, and mostly every secondary math teacher knows how to do this type of text, because this is what you've probably been using with the calculator. Okay, so now going back to the Quick LaTex website, if I was to paste that in here, and then I hit render, it gives me the Pythagorean theorem as an image. So now the benefit of using Quick LaTex is then down here you have a URL that you can paste anywhere. So for example, if I just copy this URL and I open up another website, and then I'm going to paste it on the top. I know you can't see it, but here's the image right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the example we were going to use. So I'm going to use this in column A, and then the fraction answer in column B. So to do this in LaTex, I just have to type in F, the parentheses, and then -2. F, parentheses, go back to -2. I'm going to render. And so here is the first image. Let me just make sure that's what I wanted. Yes. Okay, so from here I could either copy, go down here with my cursor and hold down the left button, or the way that I usually do it is I'll right click. I'll put my cursor right on top of the image, right click, copy image address. Okay, that's what I want. Copy image address. And so now I'll return to my Flippity spreadsheet, and I'm going to put that image in column A. So here I'm going to click once so I have the blue border, right click, and then I'm going to insert the link. So in this field with the blue border, I'm going to right click and paste. Apply. So here's the link, And then if you want to see it, just to be sure, just click on it once and then click down here, and then the image renders. All right. Now the next thing is, now I'm going to put the fraction in here. So I'm going to go back to my quick LaTeX, and then it was 1/16. So if I did, let's see if this will work. I'm going to render. Okay, so that doesn't really draw it like a fraction. Okay, so I'm going to use, I think it's frac 1. Let's see what this does. Okay, I think I need to put, let's see, there it is. So that's what I wanted. Okay, so it's the backslash and then frac and then 1/16. So again, to write a fraction, this link right here will give you examples of how to do that. So over here on the left side, right here, fractions and binomials. Just click on that hyperlink, and then it goes down in the page. So here it kind of gives an introduction, and the fraction. So right here, half. So this right here, you have a forward slash, and then a bracket, another forward slash, and then frac. But with this tool, the quick LaTeX, you just need this part right there. You don't need these other slashes. Okay, so you could experiment with this to see what it is that the way you want it to show up. So if you wanted to do something really complex like this right here, this is an example. You start with the f, the function, and then to right here. So if you were to copy that and put it into quick LaTeX, it'll render that. Okay, so now going back to our fraction, this is the fraction that we want. So now I'm going to hover, right click, copy image address. I'm going to return to my template, and I'm going to put the link in here. So I'm going to right click, insert link, right click, paste, apply. So now that link is in there. Okay, so now this is my template. So I've already gone to File, Publish to Web, and I've already published it. Okay, so I've already done that step. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Get the link here. So this is the URL that the students are going to use. So for us, I'm going to click on it once, and then I'm going to click on the link at the bottom, and here's our matching. So we only have one term, so this is our matching. So if I click on it, okay, there's the function. So then the students would work on it, and then here's the answer. Okay, so now the thing with the way it looks right now is it's kind of pixelated, right? So if you want it to be clearer, what we need to do is, I'm going to go back to this. So this is the actual size. That's pretty small, and that's why when I'm in Flippity, it looks kind of pixelated, because it's going to enlarge it so it fits in here. So what I need to do, so that way it doesn't look pixelated like that, I'm going to return over here, and I'm going to make this bigger so it doesn't expand it, right? So to do that, right here you have choose options. So I'm just going to click that. Right now the font size is 17 pixels, which is pretty small. So I'm going to drop this down, and let's say I'm going to make it, I'm going to put 60 pixels, and I'm going to render it. Let's see how big that gets. Okay, that's a lot bigger. So this is a good size. So from here, I'm going to right click, copy image address, and then I'm going to insert that new size into my template. So I'm going to go back to the matching game. This is where, I think that's where I had the fraction. So I'm just going to hit delete. Okay, and I'm going to insert the new link, the one that's bigger. Okay, I'm going to apply. And so now I'm going to go back into my Flippity matching game, and I'm going to, let's see if this will refresh it. Click on it. No, okay. So let me actually refresh the whole page. Let's try this now. Yeah, so now it's a little bit clearer. because I increase it. I could make it a little bit bigger just to match it up better, but that to me is okay. This one right here, see how it, again, this one's very pixelated. So if I wanted to change that up, and go back over here, it was function -2. So I'm going to do f -2. Let me just see. Yeah, that's what I want. And this one was bigger because it was already set to 60 pixels. So this is a lot bigger. So here I'm going to right click, copy image address. I'm going to go back to my template. I'll get rid of this one. Okay. Now I'm going to click in the cell once. Now I'm going to right click, insert link, click in here, right click, paste the new link, apply. Okay, so now we have the bigger image. So now I'm going to go back to Flippity. I'm going to refresh this screen. Yeah, so that's a lot clearer now. And that one's a lot. And I could probably do better with this one, but these are both a lot clearer. Okay, so that's how you could use this tool called Quick LaTex to create those images like really fast. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you is if you wanted to use LaTex in Schoology, you can actually do the same thing. So I'm going to go back to our site and then examples. Okay, so in here, let's say I wanted to put an assignment in here. Okay, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to, yeah, I guess I'll just do an assignment. I'll call this LaTex. Yeah, I'm going to leave all that alone. Or I got to pick a category. Okay, so I'm going to create it. Okay, so here's our assignment. I'm going to click in it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let me go back to it, and then I'm going to put, I'm going to show you what I can do. So I'm going to do an assessment after this one, but if you wanted to put an example up here, and I know this is just the description, but let's say in here you wanted to put an example using LaTex. So in here, when you click the insert content, this little box with the arrow that's pointing down to the right here is LaTex. So I'm going to click in it, and then this opens up. So in here I can do f -2, and then as soon as I hit insert, it does that. Now I'm going to hit return, and then I'm going to do again, and now this time I'm going to do, let's see if it'll let me do the fraction. It was, I think, 1/16. No, okay, so sometimes you have to mess with it. So to go back in it, just click on it once, and then you get this little image. Click on the little picture icon, and then you could go back in there. I'm going to put that forward, and then let's see what that does. Each one, there you go. So that wrote it as a fraction, and it looks a lot cleaner. And if I wanted to, I just hit backspace. You can do stuff like that. Now you see how that equal sign is really small? So you might have to, there's a couple of ways. So one way is just highlight the equal sign and then, enlarge it over here. That's one way to do that. Or the other way is you could just, well, you know what, that showed me something else. You could just click on it once, and then you'll see these little dots. So hover with your mouse, like really carefully until it turns into an arrow. And then here you could drag it and make it bigger. Okay, you can do, you can resize them like that. What I was going to recommend is, okay, I'm going to just delete all of that. I'm going to insert content, LaTex, and then I'm going to do F, what was it, F -2, I believe. Let me see, I'm just gonna, because I forgot what it was. Yeah, F parentheses -2. Yep, and then equals, and then let's see if it'll let me do this. Fraction 1/16, and this one had a that little backward slash. Okay, so let's see if what it does with this one. Okay, yeah, so it looks really nice. So now the benefit of using LaTeX is that if a student uses a screensaver, I'm going to hit save. If a student uses a screensaver, it reads it exactly the way it's meant to be read. So it kind of saves you with accessibility. Okay, now I had said that I was going to do let me go back to the examples. I'm going to do a very quick assessment just so that way you can see what we can do with this. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to add an assessment, not a test quiz. I'm just going to add an assessment. LaTeX 2. I'm going to leave that alone. Ungraded. Okay, so I'm going to create this. So now I'm going to leave the instructions alone. I'm going to leave all this alone because I want to get to the questions. So let's say we wanted to do a multiple choice. Okay, so in here, when I click in the question, I get all of these tools appear. Okay, so now this one, if I tap on that one, I get this toolbar, which is a lot easier. Now here is LaTeX, right? So I can click on view source and then I could type it in there the way we were doing it right now. Let's see, F -2 equals backward frac and then brackets 1/16. Actually, that's not even a question, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's gonna be inline, all that stuff. I'm gonna hit OK, and so it inserts it in there. Nice, right? And then again, the screen reader will read it. And the same thing for the answers. You can click on there. Here's the tool. Here you can actually write it if you want to just use these right here. You can. Or if I'm going to go back to, oh, that's right. Okay, let me show you something else. So let's say I wanted to use the quick LaTeX, right? Or LaTeX. So in here, I'm going to do let me put the answer back in there. 1/16. So let's say I wanted, and then I'm going to render. Let's say I wanted this fraction in there. I could right click, copy image address. I'm back in here. So now, since it's an image, I'm not going to go into this tool, right? I'm going to go into the image tool. So I'm going to click that. And here's the image. So I could drag it if I wanted to, but right here is where we can add the URL. So I'm going to click in there, right click, paste. Here's the URL. Here's the image rendered. Alternative text, if you wanted to add something else, like maybe the answer is 1/16, you could do that, and then the screen reader will read this exactly as you want it to. Okay, but I'm not going to do that for now. And then the pixel. So this here you could resize it some more, but I'm just going to click OK. And so here's the image now. I'm going to hit save. Oh, okay, so I need to pick a correct answer. Save. And so here it is. It looks kind of, because it goes back to the LaTeX, but as soon as you preview it, you know, like this would be on the student's end, they'll see this right here. They'll see that, and then they'll see the image. And this one came nice and big because remember when we used this tool, we changed the pixel size. So you can do these kinds of, it takes a while to build, but they come in nice and clean, and then the screen reader reads it very clear. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this, and I'm just going to review what we looked at, because we looked at a couple of different things. So I started off with the template for the matching game from Flippity. Okay, so with the template, we have the terms on one side. So in here, I could put any term. I could actually just put in a word like 5, right? And then over here, I can do this. Oh, and you know what? It's blue because it still has hyperlinks there. So I'm gonna remove those hyperlinks. Let's see. Let me make sure. No, that is really interesting. So this must be left over from, yeah, it's not it looks like a hyperlink, the formatting, but they're not. Okay, so 5, 2 plus 3. So if I was to go back to my Flippity, and let me refresh this page, now we have 4 terms. So there's 2 plus 3, and there's 5. And then here's 1/16, and then there's that one. So the only, you could have done the same thing, like written those equations on here, but if you want them to look nice and clean, like this, or like this one right here, you could use LaTex to help you create something that looks exactly how you want it to, how the students will see it in their book. Okay, so it's just a matter of knowing. Let me go back to, yeah, this is quick LaTex. So the resource, and I'm going to have all of these linked. Let's see, that's our algebra. Okay, this one right here. Yeah, it's just a matter of, not being afraid to do something like this. And actually, I'm going to copy this, and it's going to give us something that looks just like that. And it does take a little bit of practice, or just having that other, that reference open to how you can write the LaTex. See, this is a formula. So this, I could copy image address, and if I wanted to insert it into my Flippity, I could just paste that hyperlink there. Or if I was, going back to our assessment, if I wanted to add another question in here, I could throw it in there too. So it's an image URL. There it is. I'm going to hit OK. So here's the image, and then, whatever, that's the rest of it. But anyways, that's just kind of, I wanted to definitely show y'all that. So this is a resource to enrich if you've already used Flippity and you wanted to get a little bit more creative with it, and use it so that way you could make really good looking pictures. And the benefit of using quick LaTex is that you can just write the problem in here. I mean, as simple as 2 plus 3, and then render it. Here's the image, and then just right click and then copy the image address. This makes it a lot easier to get an image and a hyperlink or a URL into services like Flippity's matching game, or even into Schoology. Okay, right. I hope you like this video.